Hi everyone, it's Donna from Olean, New York in America, and I'm back with another episode today that is going to be part of our holiday series. The holidays are upon us, and this is a great time to start getting your recipes together for that special gathering with family and friends. And as you can see from my bowl, we're going to do something special today with our cherry stone clams. I have a wood-fired clams casino recipe that we're going to do on the grill, but we have to do a little prep first in the kitchen. So let's get our ingredients ready and let's meet in the kitchen. So before we get into the ingredients of our wood-fired clams casino, let's give a little history lesson on the actual recipe. This recipe comes to us from the state of Rhode Island on the Atlantic, on the eastern portion of America. And that is one of the key states for harvesting clams throughout the year. The key with this menu item is it was designed by a lady who wanted to feature the clams, their local clams, in a special recipe for her guests, and thus the recipe came to be. Now I've done a little bit of a variation on the Rhode Island recipe, but they're basically the same and we'll use some key ingredients. So let's start with the ingredients you will need. First, you'll need 18 of a clam, and I'm using cherry stone clams today. Then you'll need white wine, bacon or pancetta, and I do prefer pancetta, but I couldn't get any fresh pancetta for today's recipe. Then we need some finely chopped red bell pepper. We need some shallot, and again, it should be finely chopped, minced garlic, fresh Parmesan, and I have done my fresh grate, panko breadcrumbs, some parsley that again is finely chopped, olive oil, and our fresh ground black pepper and salt. And all these ingredients will combine to go into our clams. But first, we need to get our clams prepared. So we're going to go into the kitchen and get ready to steam our clams. Okay, we're in the kitchen now and we are beginning our casino mix. While our clams are in the steamer, they will take about 10 to 13 minutes to fully steam open. We have started the casino mix by putting in our olive oil to a saute pan, and I've placed the bacon into the pan in a single layer as best as you can. I know it's hard with chopped bacon. First off, it's hard to chop bacon, and second, it's hard to always get it into a single layer. But do the best you can because this is a key ingredient to clams casino. We want a bacon that ends up being very crispy and that has rendered most of its fat. So you will need to move it around and then just keep trying to keep it in that single layer. And this step will provide the telltale flavor of clams casino. This is one ingredient that does not change from recipe to recipe. There is always some type of bacon or pancetta, some type of pork product. Yes, you can use turkey bacon if you're a person that doesn't like pork products or doesn't eat pork products. You can use a different style bacon, but try to use something that can render some fat. We need the fat in order to do the rest of the ingredients for the casino part. So once you've got everything kind of crisped, and you'll know by the touch, bacon, because it's got a considerable amount of fat to it, the fatty pieces like this one, those will be the ones that take the longest to crisp. So don't be afraid to remove some, and you'll want to have a dish with a paper towel at the ready. And then you'll just place your finished bacon onto that towel. And then we'll use the rest of the fat to do the rest of the ingredients. So again, this is not going to be one of those dishes that is necessarily the healthiest thing you'll eat, but here in America, we tend to use it for our special events. A lot of times we're eating it for our Thanksgiving, which is in November, our Christmas holiday, New Year's holiday, and oftentimes we'll even have it for like special Memorial Day observances for our military. So get out as much of the bacon as you can. And remember, any little bits that are left, I'm just going to add to the rest of the ingredient. once you have those out and onto your plate, we're going to take that rendered fat and make sure you keep an eye on your heat. When I use cast enamel, it tends to retain the heat for a long time, so you can reduce your heat a little bit when you get to the vegetable portion of this dish. If you're using a standard aluminum or steel pan or even a Teflon coated, you may have to leave your heat up a bit. Okay, so we've gotten most of our bacon out, so we're ready to go. The next ingredient to go into our rendered fat is going to be our pepper. And because the pan's already hot, this step is not going to take too long to tenderize it. And remember, pepper has quite a bit of water content, so that is going to mix with the rendered fat, and that's going to help pull up all these little bitty flavors that get on the bottom of your pan. And this is one of the reasons why the pepper is the first ingredient to go in after you've rendered your bacon fat. And once that's softened up, and you'll be able to feel it, again, try to keep it in a single layer. Let it kind of boil itself off a little bit. And then in goes our shallot. Again, another key ingredient to this dish. It is not something you want to leave out. Can you substitute regular onion if you had no other choice? But I highly recommend that you use shallot. It has a lighter flavor than traditional onions, like yellows and reds. And so it gives it a little bit more of a mild flavor for the overall dish. It won't give it an overpowering onion flavor. So again, mix those two so they marry. And once you see your shallots start to become translucent, you're ready to add your garlic. And again, this is a mince, so it'll be a very fine. And you are welcome to use a pre-minced garlic. You don't have to do it yourself. There's lots available on the market now. And then the final ingredient to go in before our liquid is going to be our parsley. Now, as you'll see, most of that rendered fat has started to be absorbed by the vegetables. And you can monitor your heat level. You want to just make sure it's got a nice boil simmer to it. Once everything is softened up, it's time to add our white wine. Now this stage, that is the only liquid. You're going to want that to pretty much evaporate. So you can elevate your heat a little bit. And then we're going to allow that to boil off. And it's the wine that actually helps all of the flavors merge together. And just make sure that you have all your garlic well mixed. Don't let any big clumps of garlic remain in one spot. Last thing you want to do is eat the clam and have just one flavor coming through. Now, when this is reduced, we'll be ready to put in our bacon that we've rendered and crisped up, and then we'll be adding half of our Parmesan cheese that we've grated fresh. So our next ingredients are going to be our Parmesan and our salt and pepper, along with our bacon. The final will be the residual cheese and our panko breadcrumbs. That's what will give it that crispy outside when we put these on the grill. Whenever you steam clams, or even if you are doing the shucking and grilling them, however your technique is for cooking, you always take a chance that there could be a clam or two that are not ripe and don't open. Well, we had the good fortune today of having all 18 of our cherry stones open. So once they open and they've been steamed, you're going to want to open up the shell. Just take the top shell and twist it, and it will break apart pretty easily. And then what I like to do is remove the clam ligament so that the clam is free in the shell. This is going to make it a lot easier when somebody goes to eat that Clams Casino. Again, make sure you tip out any of the steamed water that has remained in the shell. And as a tip, if you do like baked clams or baked seafood mix, you can keep your shells and then just boil them in some vinegar and water mixed to decontaminate them again, and you could use them as a stuffing shell. So we just simply remove the upper shell by twisting, and then just gently grab a hold of your clam. You'll see where the ligament attaches to the shell. You just want to remove that and loosen it so that the clam is free, and then place it on your tray that you will be putting on the grill. And then that's it for our clams. So I'm going to move our tray aside as we bring back our casino mixture. And we're going to finish adding our previous cooked bacon to our now rendered filling. So as you can see, there's no liquid remaining. It's all evaporated into the beautiful wine, into our mix. So we're going to add back our bacon. And then to that, we're going to add just half of our Parmesan cheese. And again, make sure that you get your bacon kind of mixed in well. At this stage, I try not to manipulate this too much between ingredients. I kind of use my spatula to just kind of move aside a few ingredients into different sections. So taking about half of your parm, fresh grated parm, you're going to put that in next, and reserving half. And this reservation for it is because we want to be able to top a little bit of cheese on the top of our clams. And then add your salt and your pepper. And again, the salt is your discretion. Obviously, bacon has already got a lot of salt to it. So, you know, you can leave that step out if you prefer, or just add a small quantity. I would say I've had it about 1/4 teaspoon, if even that. And then once this is all mixed up, you're going to just take any spoon, or if you like to use a mini scoop, you can do that as well. But we will be mounding into our clam shells our finished casino mixture. Again, reserving our panko breadcrumb and our leftover Parmesan. So I basically just kind of mound it with my fingers, take a clam, and just attach it right over the top. And you just want to make sure you have a nice hearty tablespoon size. If you see any ingredients are a little bit lacking, just pick them out and put that back onto your tray. Do it again. A nice hearty mound. Flip it over the top, burying in essence your clam into goodness, and then place on your tray. And then once they're all completely filled with your filling, you're going to take your panko breadcrumb and you're going to just sprinkle a little bit of that over the top. And then take a sprinkling of your reserved Parmesan. Just a sprinkle. We don't want a lot because we've already got enough sodium in there and we already have cheese. And that's it. So you'll fill all 18 of them, and then these are going to be ready to go get wood fired on the grill that is being prepared now with our charcoal and our hardwood. Okay, so we're outside at the grill, and again, this is a holiday recipe, so welcome to America in the East Coast. Yes, that is snow that you will likely see in our video. This is what we're used to, and this is what we cook all the time in. So I have pre-lit my charcoal in my chimney starter. I've put it in for a 2-zone setup. Again, only my fuel is going to be on one side of the grill, and in the middle you'll see that I have done a foil covered brick. It's just a standard brick, And I do that so that I get radiant heat all the way through when I have temperatures under 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It's pretty cold to try to get the grills to get uniform heat, so this is one of the ways that you can compensate for that. And then I'm going to be adding our rye blend for our clams, and because I'm doing fish, I am using the blend that's custom made for fish, vegetables, and fruit. And I'm going to be putting on a couple of handfuls over my charcoal. That's going to give it a burst of nice smoke. Once that's on goes the grill grate. And again, fire safety always, so make sure that you have your fire gloves, especially when it gets cooler, because it doesn't take much. And then I'm going to set my tray of clams. Right on the grill. And get my lid on as quick as I can. And this will not take very long. And then we'll be back. So it has been just about 20 minutes and we now have our finished Clams Casino wood-fired from our kettle grill using our special Bry fish blend. And as you can see, they are just beautiful. And today we have a special treat in the house. We have the co-founder of Smokinlicious, Terry, who's going to be our sampling guinea for the day. All right, Terry.
I thought you were going to take it out of this clam for me. Nice blend of wood. Yeah, it's very tasty. Doesn't overpower the clam. It just kind of mellows with it as you taste it in the back of your throat. Very good. Nice job, Grabs.
So there you go. There is our wood-fired Clams Casino, featured today as an appetizer you can share this holiday season. Now, don't forget, we have more coming up during this holiday month. Next on the menu, we're going to treat you to one of America's favorite at holiday time, and that is our double smoked ham. So stay tuned for that. Thanks again to Clinton and team. This is Donna from Olean, New York in America, wishing you great cooking.